Hi everybody, I'm Natalie with Missouri Star Quilt Company, and today on Quilting 101 I'm joined by Courtney from our sewing team, and we are going to talk about binding. We have an interesting new binding technique we're going to talk about because we've done some quilts that have some pointy edges.
Pointy and then the inset seams or the inset curve that aren't a 90 degree. They're a little bit more
and you
funky.
were also saying that you use this technique sometimes on smaller projects?
Yes, when we're going to do a single fold binding, so it's a little less bulk on like placemats, table runners, wall hangings, things that won't get washed a lot because you're losing, a layer of fabric on that edge. So
Right. Okay, so this is single fold bias binding.
Yep. And you do not have to cut single fold binding on the bias, but that's how we're going to show you today.
Right.
So I normally cut my, for the bias binding, I usually cut myself a 1/2 yard. So that's what I have here. And then we're going to turn it.
Yep, open it up so it's nice and wide.
Yep, just one layer, you don't want two. And then I'm going to start over here. I'm going to find my 45-degree mark on my ruler. I'm going to lay that flat across the bottom, and then I'm just going to make a nice cut going this way. And now I usually cut my single fold binding at 1.25 inches because that's exactly half.
Okay.
But to give yourself a little bit of room, sometimes when you fold it over the edge, you can cut it 1.5 inches. Did I say 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches?
The first measurement was 1.25 inches.
Okay,
That's what you normally do.
Okay, yep. But
to give us extra space.
to give you extra space to fold it over, and especially if you're doing like flannel or your batting's a little bit thicker, you definitely want to go with 1.5 inches.
Okay.
But for here, we can just do 1.25 inches. So you can just move your ruler over to that 1.25 inch mark and just start cutting your strips.
So you're going to get a lot of binding out of this 1/2 yard.
You get, yes.
You can typically bind, your whole quilt with a 1/2 yard of.
Yes.
3/4 at the most for the largest quilts.
The bigger ones, yep. So that's how you use just a regular ruler. Now, if you by chance happen to have the bias ruler, we have this bias ruler.
This is just perfectly made for this.
Perfectly made for this. It's by TQM products, and we love this ruler. You can just lay it right on there, and you're flat on either side. And this is a 2.5 inch ruler, or you can just move it over to your 1.25 inch.
Yep, she's got the 1 inch and the 2 inch marked, and it's it's 2.5. So
yep, and you can just use this ruler.
Makes it
to cut your
very
slices.
easy.
And there you go, and that's all there is to cutting it.
All right, so these
Very
get
nice
joined
and
in the same way. You could either join your little cross pieces the way they're cut, or you can do a, that little cross method where you sew diagonally from corner to corner.
Yep, just like that. You can lay it down there, then sew corner to corner, and then flip it open, and you'll have that going across, just like you'll join it just like regular binding.
Yeah.
Yep. And you've got a great tutorial on bindings.
I do.
To show how to do that.
We've done lots of different kinds of bindings, and I know of 2 or 3 others that I still haven't done yet. So
there you go.
Lots of fun ways to bind a quilt.
Stuff to come. And if you find sometimes I find that the bias ruler slips a little bit on me, I use this grippy non-slip coating.
Okay.
I just take the ruler outside and just give it a quick spritz, and that keeps it from moving so much on me.
Awesome.
So I use that sometimes. So through the magic of television.
Oh, you've got your
and
strips
camera,
sewn
we've
together.
got our strips sewn together. Ta-da!
Excellent. Very nice.
And so I also made this sample, and just to show you the angles, some of those, those odd angles for you.
Yep. So if you've made a hexagon quilt or a double wedding ring or anything that has curves and points and.
Yep. This is what you can do. Now, one of the things you can do to prep, you can fold this in half and iron it, right sides together. But you're only going to sew one side of that raw edge.
Okay.
You don't need both. Just one side.
Okay.
Okay. And I usually start on a flat. It's easier to start and stop on the flat side.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you're going to do the same kind of closing.
Yes. Yep. The same kind of closing, which also be on your videos.
Okay.
And use a 1/4 inch seam like.
All right. Do you leave a long tail so you can connect them?
I do.
So I'll scoot that up a bit. Is that?
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to go right along the edge here and do a 1/4 inch. Oh, I'm still new to this machine a bit. what do I do when I get down to the edge here?
When you're a 1/4 inch away, just like regular binding, you're going to stop
Just
and
stop?
then back off the quilt.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you say back off, do you mean that you pivot and stitch towards the corner?
You can. Yep, you can either do that or pivot
just-
90 degrees and go straight off, whichever is easier. I usually go diagonally. It kind of helps my seam
Like-
a little bit.
So you
Lays
would
nice
do
and
like
straight.
a diagonal seam or
Yep.
no?
Yeah, yeah. You can do a diagonal seam right to the corner of your quilt.
Okay. Thinking that's a big 1/4 inch.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be using the edge of this part of the foot,
Oh,
the skinny part.
well, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for telling me. I'd really like to be able to just lift it a little.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
not really sure how to do that.
I don't know if this machine has some machines have where you hit a button and it comes up just a little bit to let you do that.
I think I need to engage the,
Then you pull it off, and then even though this is an odd angle, you're still you're gonna lay this back, so this is even all the way up,
okay.
just like we do on, and then
On
you're
our
gonna come back
normal.
on yourself, and it's gonna look weird because you don't have a lot underneath that corner, but that's okay.
Okay.
And then you're gonna do the same thing on this quarter, stop a quarter and go back off.
All right. That makes more sense.
Each machine has its little,
They do.
Quirks.
They have quirks, and I'll get better at it.
that's all right.
It's kind of, there we go. All right, so I'm just about there, I
Okay.
think. Did I make it? Oh, I'm a little far away.
Yeah, maybe one, and then maybe put your foot down in or your needle down. And
Oh,
just
you're gonna
lift your foot
pivot?
up. Yeah, you can just pivot instead of pulling it all the way up.
Okay, so now what?
And now lift your foot up. And then you can swivel it.
Then we cut or no?
You can cut it. Or
All right.
you don't have to either. So then you're gonna pull that back, straight back, just like we did before. So the edge of your binding is even in a straight line with where you're headed.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, and then, ooh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
That's
hit you in
okay.
your hand.
No worries. And we've got our seam on the outside
We do.
here.
We started it with the. Make sure when you add your binding, it's right sides together. Now, you are gonna stop where that
Right at the corner,
end, yep.
or the-
And then you're just gonna turn your machine and go up the other side, and you're gonna kind of
Pull it straight.
pull it straight,
Okay.
just like Jenny.
She does that on
Yeah,
these
and
little
it worked
points
out fine.
inside.
Yep. And put your needle down.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we'll just raise a bit
Yep.
and we'll
Just kind of.
pull that.
Yep.
Kind of straighten it out.
And it makes its own little
Makes its own
miter in there.
pleat on the other side.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And it's the same thing. You stop at a quarter and go off and.
Let me move that out of the way. Just forward a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to make sure that this stays in a straight line that way.
Perfect. Yep. That's exactly right.
And then we pull it back down
Mhm.
this way
Yep.
to make that little pleat.
Mhm.
And then this is the one where we pull it straight.
Yep. Yep. You got it.
It's a little bit, whoops, a little bit finicky there.
Yep, it can be. The good thing about this angle here is it is nice and you can pull it straight.
So
It's
I
easier
forgot
than
to put
some
my needle
smaller.
down
Here you go.
before I kind of stretch and pull on it. So you don't want to pull it too hard,
No,
but it is easier with the needle down, yeah?
Yep, definitely easier. If you have a needle down on your machine, definitely use it. If not, just
Okay.
use your hand wheel and turn the needle so it's down. It's no big deal.
I don't want to pull too hard though because it's bias binding, right? And I don't want to get it too stretched.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to stretch it too much, but you can
Fiddle
you
with
can
it.
tug on a little bit.
Okay. All right. And sort of adjust as we go, or
Yep.
okay. All right. Now we're going to be back at the point.
Yep.
Put our needle down. Turn and stitch off. Yes, thank you. Okay. Now we're gonna have that match line up. And then you fold it back
Perfect.
in
Yep,
line
that's
with
good.
the, okay.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep, okay.
Perfect.
I'm getting it.
You are. You got it.
All right. Well, that seems
All right.
fairly simple.
Yes, it is. And then you just finish going around. You
Yeah.
end it just like the other one. The 2.5 inches that you do are the 2 1/4. And then when you are done, all you'll do is you'll bring this to the back. I usually fold it up right into the
Okay,
the
so
quilt.
almost in half-ish.
Yep. And then I fold it again and hand stitch it to the back.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we do on these, when we get to this point, how do you make these pretty? So this one is gonna kind of be like, pull it straight and stitch across, right? Just like we do with the
Yep.
scalloped edges.
Yep.
And what about these peaks? How do we make that have a
These
lovely miter?
Have a nice pretty. It's a little bit fiddly at the top, but what I try to do is, see how I've got it kind of folded?
Uh-huh.
And then I bring it to the back and then bring this over. And just fold it. It'll move. And then you've got your pretty little,
And you can just
Miter on the back.
make a pretty miter.
yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep. It'll move for you, you just have to make it do it. And then in the bottom, a lot of times they'll just look like a little, it'll be rounded, a little bit
Yeah.
rounded, and that's just fine.
Okay.
And then here's what it'll look like on the front.
It gets a little bit rounded there too. huh?
Yeah, yep. And then this front, you'll have that pretty miter just like a
Yeah.
regular binding.
Very cool.
So there you go.
Yeah, I like that. All
Yeah.
right.
Plus it uses less fabric.
It does use less fabric.
So keep that in mind. If
And
you're,
I do think that you could go through with a little applique glue and put it down before you stitch.
oh,
yeah?
great idea. Sure.
To go ahead
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
especially on the this side where you're trying
Yes.
to fold in here, if you wanted to fold and then press it down,
Sure.
and do a little iron with
Absolutely.
some applique glue, that
That's a
would make
great
it
idea.
a lot easier to
maneuver.
work with.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the pressing, which would give you that really nice press
Yeah,
line.
Yep, if you go ahead and press that in half and then turn it over, then you'd have that to line up with
Right.
your fabric. Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, that's super educational. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to try it out on some small
There
projects.
you go. Yeah, let me know when you do.
So I hope that you guys have learned as much as I have and that you've enjoyed this video. Get out there and try a single fold bias binding on a project and tell us how it goes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear from you.
Send us some pictures too.
That's right.
See
See you
ya.
next time.